Vegas. This for the haters. I make a lot of new money. When the not savers. Be liking my flavor. I think it's cause. All the rest. Watch out for that. I never switch. I never switch. I never switch. I never switch. I see the risk. I see the risk. I see the risk. I see the risk. I see the risk.
Coach, a very warm day outside by Minnesota standards, but then again, it is still summer. Either way, the AC is working just fine at U.S. Bank Stadium in the Twin Cities. The scene a short time ago, this crowd decked out in purple, and they were in full roar as their guys burst out of the locker room. We're ready for football, folks, as the Vikings get set to do battle with the Oakland Raiders. It's the first weekend of autumn, and the NFL is in full swing as off we go on EA Sports. That's fielded in the end zone. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line.
Down, 180, 55, check back.
They run it with a rookie from Alabama, Josh Jacobs. And he got blown up on that play. Back at the 20. It's a loss of 5 there, bringing up second.
Came out in a power set, but that only served to put more men in the box. And guess what? If you're going to do that, you've got to win up front, right? Your offensive guys have got to beat the defenders. They lost all leverage on that play.
Down, 180, squeeze. Quarterback, don't get nervous now.
On 2nd and 15 now. Carr. Pressure coming from the Vikings, and they get there and bring him down. Anthony Barr comes rumbling in for the sack.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
No run call here. They'll look to throw instead. He's going to fire one deep left sideline. It got his man complete. And he's going to be out of bounds right at midfield. Call that a gain of 38. A big march forward on the 3rd down conversion. So the line of scrimmage all the way up to midfield now as they've got it 1st and 10. From midfield, here's Carr. Over the middle, and it's incomplete. Tyrell Williams was the intended target. That'll bring up 2nd down.
I know coaches tell us all the time that having a powerful arm isn't the #1 thing they look for in a quarterback. But when you're trying to throw inside routes and you need to put some heat on it, it helps to have the big gun. In this case, just a little bit too much.
The 2nd down attempt there knocked down as it leaves the quarterback's hand, and it's incomplete.
Used to have a coach just tell us all the time, those scouting reports aren't just to use up paper, guys. Well, nowadays, we're watching a computer screen, right? They scouted this team very well. Know that they like to use the running backs in the passing game. They covered that play successfully.
29.
Throwing his car on 3rd down. Being chased out left. It's complete to Grant. And they're able to work this to the 25 before it's all said and done. How about 25 yards on 3rd down? They'll take it.
Down. 180. Hey, we're good.
Carr now on 1st down. And to the left side here, Wilson. 12 more yards there and another 1st down.
I got a kick out of that one, partner. You and I talk often about trying to hide receivers in certain situations, but a guy of his size, you can't really hide him. But the tight end drag route, definitely an effective way to sneak him across the formation for an easy completion and a first down.
Here's Jacobs on 1st and 10. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Raider touchdown. Josh Jacobs, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Raiders drive right down the field and score on the opening drive. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And it's now a 7-0 game. Following the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Carlson. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he had taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10 at their own 21. Here's Dalvin Cook, 3rd year back from Florida State. Looking for a cutback lane, but nothing there as he's met at the line of scrimmage.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
Now a 2nd down throw for Cousins. He's got it complete to Stephon Diggs. And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield. That one covers 24 yards. It's a 1st down.
First down. 1st and 10 at the 45-yard line.
First down, here's the run with Cook. A big play there out of Cook. Give him 42 yards on the ground. Terrific run from one of the fastest backs in the game today. A guy who keeps defensive coordinators up at night, no doubt.
Remember when we were meeting with the D coordinator before the game and all he talked about was run fits, making sure our guys were in the right place so there were no creases?
They missed their fits, didn't they?
Yeah, there was no fit there. The only fit was at the end when he threw his headset down after that big run.
And that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line. What a difference a play makes. A huge step forward and now a small step back as he loses a yard or two.
At the 14-yard line.
Mike is 59. Mike to 59. Watch the curl. Watch the curl. Watch the curl. Check safety. Check safety. Through. Right. Check. 59. 59. Let's put him on the Bravo. Let's put that team on the bus.
On 2nd and 11 now. Cousins looking for Thielen, but it's intercepted. Picked off by Brandon Marshall. And he'll go down inside the 15 at his own 13-yard line. He had a little bit of the turnover bug last week, 3 interceptions. Not an absolute disaster, but another one here. Do you start to get a little worried? You worry about your team as a whole because you have to find a way to make those interceptions, quote-unquote, go well, and that means your defense. They've got to go out there on sudden change and at least hold people to field goals. And if that keeps happening, they lose confidence in the quarterback, and then no one plays well. He was solid last week, over 100 yards in their victory on the ground. They want to get that going again. Absolutely. And what they also understand is that from week to week, it's not necessarily the same, but they want it to be, right? What they saw last week on the ground, they want to see in this game as well. On second down, Jacobs. And he'll get this up to the 34-yard line. A gain of 13. It's a first down.
Well, they came into this game saying it was important that they set the tone and show that they can run the football. I believe that they've done that here in the first quarter.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Carr going to give it to Jacobs. And an alley to run. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first. After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. Ready for the second quarter, and it's our visitors with the football as they've got it with a 1st and 10. On 1st and 10, here's Carr. Wilson snags it left side. Just a yard on the catch there. It'll be 2nd and 9.
That was a nice throw out there to the flat, but they defended that pretty well. The hope is to go ahead and put it on him so he can turn and get upfield and gain additional yardage. There just wasn't anywhere to go on that play.
Throwing again on 2nd down. Carr, bite, and now the ball's out. Carr lost it, fumble, and the Vikings pick up the football. And they're going to bring this one back. It's a fumble return, a scoop and score for the Vikings. Dan Bailey now for the extra point. It's good, and we're all tied at 7 apiece. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. A reminder, coming up later tonight, a lot of buzz about this game. The Browns, they've been doing some travel. Back-to-back primetime games for them. Monday night they were in New York. Now the Browns head to Los Angeles to take on the NFC champs, Browns and Rams, an 8:20 kickoff Eastern time, 5:20 in California. On 2nd down now, it's Jacobs. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down.
And Anthony Barr just has it all as far as I'm concerned in terms of physique, athletic ability, and now he's versatile as well. When he came out of UCLA, he played outside linebacker, but also down defensive end. The Vikings can utilize the same sort of skills.
The pickup there, 5 yards.
Nice catch right there. Brings to mind the sentence, when in doubt, find your veterans.
He used to laugh back in the day when they would call guys like him crafty veterans. You get up in your 30s, you're still playing receiver, but you're around that long at that position, you're doing something right. The Vikings after him, and they get there for the sack. The defensive end, Daniil Hunter, drops him.
So if we recount real quick, he had the touchdown earlier, and now he comes up with the sack here. No doubt about it, he's having himself a game.
Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. Now Carr. Throw left side complete. It's Wilson.
Yeah, that one was covered pretty well because they were trying to leak the tight end out into the flat. I think they were hoping he could catch and turn upfield and pick up the 1st down.
The Raiders on 3rd down. A perfect 3 for 3 as they look to keep that streak going. This is 3rd and 17. Carr going to throw. He's going to rifle one deep left side. And it's knocked away and incomplete.
And based on my math, they've only converted 1 time thus far in this game, so you can see the frustration starting to come out a little bit. 3rd downs, they've been a problem for them all game. They've got to start becoming solutions.
So on 4th down, here's Johnny Townsend to punt it. He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. This is brought in at the 21. So possession goes over here on the punt. And the Vikings will take over here 1st and 10. And now out comes Minnesota. And they had a nice little drive going last time. Threw the interception in the red zone. Costly.
Bad enough to throw it anywhere, but that drives coaches insane when they're thinking about, hey, we've got a shot at points already. We're already in a spot where you're thinking you got 3 on the board for sure, and to come away with nothing, that's a really tough one for them to swallow.
Yeah, will they make up for it?
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13. Cousins gives way to Cook. 2 yards gets them back to where they started, but now 3rd and 10.
Well, it wasn't much of a gain, but we're getting near the 2-minute warning, so maybe they just want to get to that point, regroup, and decide what they want to do the rest of the half.
We've hit the 2-minute mark of the first half. All knotted up at 7.
That's what I'm talking about. Nice hit, boy.
A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
And he'll be brought down with the first down and a late flag here, too. And he may get a few more tacked on for good measure. Officials so cognizant of that call nowadays, but that one looked pretty easy.
Yeah, you're right. They took out of their hands having to wonder whether it's a 5-yard or a 15-yard, inadvertent or not. Now, it's a lot easier. You see it, you call it.
And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. Cook following the penalty. Looking to find a lane, but he can't. Reined in at the line of scrimmage. In on the stop, it's Tahir Whitehead.
Absolutely love the effort there. The ability to flow from his inside spot and stop that one at the line of scrimmage. Nice linebacker play.
Check 59. Mike is 59. Mike to 59. Cut.
They'll try to throw now. Cousins. And he's going to be sacked. They sack him back right at the midfield stripe. Maurice Hurst. What an effort from him on that play. Big tackle for a loss of 11. So now after the sack, Cousins and the Vikings come up here 3rd and long. Cousins now from the 50. Oh, he may have gotten lucky. Tried to dump it off underneath on the check down. Nearly picked. Instead, it's incomplete.
Well, nearly another interception there. That would have been 2 drives in a row with a pick. He's got to start taking care of the ball way better than what we're seeing.
Interestingly, that throw was probably worse than the one he threw the interception on last drive, but fell incomplete. So on 4th down, they bring on the Michigan man, Matt Wild, to kick it away. Back deep, J.J. Nelson. And just a single punt for him in the loss last week as he sends this one away. And this is going to carry well into the end zone for a touchback.
At their own 20-yard line.
Now the Oakland offense heading back onto the field to take over. And we're under a minute to go here. What's been an even first half all tied up.
Yeah, still time to make something happen, too. Couple completions, you string them together. Could get into field goal range. Let's see what happens.
On the tackle that time, it's Trey Waynes.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
Now 2nd and 7 from the 23. They'll keep it on the ground again here. A big play there just before halftime. 72 yards.
At the 5-yard line.
And we're going to get a timeout with 2 seconds remaining in the second quarter. So with 2 ticks left here in the half, on is the field goal unit from the right hash, and this one just a chippy. The kick by Carlson is good, and that will do it for this first half. So we've hit halftime, just a field goal separating these two teams at the break. As we'll send you down to Orlando, we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And the decision to come out is going to cost him 5 as he's taken down right at the 20.
The Vikings take over 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line.
Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. Starting the third quarter with Cook. They find some open field here. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. Dalvin Cook, an 80-yard touchdown. And the Vikings are going to retake the lead. One play, 80 yards. Pretty easy drive to recap.
It certainly is, but not so easy to execute. Starting on your own 20, you want something to kickstart your drive and get it off to a nice start. They went for the whole thing and got it. That's a great way to send a message to the opposing team.
Bailey now to kick it away after the touchdown. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line.
Right now, 185.
Carr with a play fake to Jacobs. Over the middle here to Brown. And they work this well upfield across the 45.
It's a gain of
25 yards that time.
first down.
A good grab there by the former Central Michigan man, Antonio Brown.
And he ate up some real estate on the catch, too, didn't he? I think the most impressive part of it, though, if there's a chance for him to get the football, even though he was covered well, he somehow finds a way to get it.
Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1.
Brings up 2nd and 1 at the Vikings' 43-yard line.
The last run got 9. That leaves him with 2nd and a yard. Once again, it's Jacobs. And he'll go down shy of the 40 at the 41. A gain of just a yard, but it's a first down.
2nd and 1 is often an invitation to take the big shot downfield. I bet the offensive lineman said, are you kidding? We just get on our backs and let's go get the first down. They love being physical.
Carr now on first down. He's going to leave this for his running back. It's complete. And this winds up a pickup of 2, maybe 2.5 to about the 39.
A gain of 2 brings up 2nd and 8 at the 39-yard line.
So 2nd and 8 here after the pass play for 2 yards on first down. Jacobs now. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up 3rd down. The Raiders on 3rd down. They've been good, 3 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 10. Now Carr. Looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Grant. And they're able to get this one past the 30 to the 25-yard line. They've got another first down. The Raider passing game clicking on all cylinders right now. On 1st and 10, Carr. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 19. Give him 6 on the play, and that'll make it 2nd down.
Now! 180! Hey, we're good, we're good! 180!
Carr gives to Richard, and he'll get this down only to the 18. Now it looks like we've got a Raider here, slow to get up. Well, he gets attended to. We'll step aside. The Raiders on 3rd down. They've been near perfect, 4 for 5 to this point. This time it's 3rd and 3. Shotgun now for Carr. He's got a man. It's Williams.
Here we go.
That'll be enough to keep the drive moving forward. Another first down on the pickup of 5 yards.
First down, Raiders.
And that one was a lot of fun right there because that was the game within the game. 3rd and short, blitz was on. What's the key for the quarterback? Get out of your hands in a hurry. And there's a quick little completion. Got the job done for a first down.
Now he's going to swing this one out to his running back. And here he'll get it down to the 7. A nice little screen. They get 6 on first down.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass. Looked like it was coming together. Looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid gain.
6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. Back to the running game with Jacobs. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. Now it looks like we've got a Raider here, slow to get up. While the training staff takes a peek, we'll take a break.
Now, 180! Mike 50. Hey, we're pretty quiet, D. We're pretty quiet.
Carr. And this will result in him losing yardage. Back to the 3. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
Well, I know it goes against the instincts of the person catching the ball because all you're ever taught is catch the football, don't drop it.
But drop it there.
Yeah, in that situation, dropping it would have been better. End up losing yardage, even though they completed the pass.
As good as a sack.
Yeah, how about that? Although they won't get the same credit for it, and it won't help them at contract time.
And they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 9. It goes as a loss of 6. And now third down. They need to reverse the trend. The last 2 plays have gone backwards. Now it's 3rd and goal. From the gun, it's Carr. Escaping the pressure right. He can run for it, and he will. And he'll go down, and that will do it for the 3rd quarter of action. And we return, welcoming you back to Minneapolis. It's Raider football here, but they're on the short side of the scoreboard right now as we begin the 4th. Likely the play of the game here, trailing in the final quarter and going for it on 4th and goal. They go with Jacobs, and he's in. Touchdown, Raiders. Josh Jacobs with his 2nd touchdown of the game, 4th of the year. And the Raiders have retaken the lead. Now an important extra point here to stretch this lead to a field goal. He's got it, and this is indeed up to a 3-point lead. Following the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Carlson. That's fielded in the end zone. And they're going to stop him short of the 20 with a penalty flag down. And what's the call here? Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
So the face mask certainly helps things as they'll start up past the 30 on 1st down. A give. This is Cook. He'll get about 4 as he's past the 35 to the 38-yard line.
When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
Kirk Cousins last year started all 16 games but only led the Vikes to just 1 fourth-quarter comeback like he's trying to do here. Now a throw complete to his fullback out of the backfield. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. 11 yards there, 1st down.
Now that's often a surprise for the defensive guys when they see the big fella slide out of the backfield and catch the ball. Not something they usually go over in practice very often.
On 1st down, it's Cook. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. The run defense, they have been porous at times today, but not that last go-around.
No, they really tightened it up, didn't they? They finally got themselves a win because all game long we've seen them get gashed. This time they put
into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Carl Joseph. And he'll get this one out to the 50 to the midfield stripe.
Oh, timing is everything on a route like this. He tried to drive that football into a tight spot. And if you're a little early or a little late, chances are there's going to be someone there. And sure enough, this one's going the other way.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. Throw left side complete. That's Wilson. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down.
Well, they were unable to make anything really big out of that, but it's not a bad idea to find your tight end and give him an easy completion and keep moving things forward. Almost his bread and butter, it's a good running back dive play.
After a gain of 5, they'll wind up being about a length of the football short here on 3rd down.
And there's a run to be happy with. Good, solid yardage. You'll take that any time you hand the ball to a back.
The battle in the trenches never more important than right now. This is 3rd and inches. Trying to run for it with Jacobs. Boy, no chance as he was met and dropped behind the line there. A loss of a yard, and it brings up fourth. This late in the game, Charles, I think you maybe seriously have to think about going for it.
Especially where they are in terms of field position, because this is almost like no man's land. Might hurt your punter because there might not be enough space, maybe too far for your field goal kicker.
Oh, no, he lost the football. And he'll take this all the way down inside the 40. And they're not able to convert on fourth down.
Well, that takeaway, partner, right there, that's a combination of coaching, execution, and absolute belief. Because a lot of guys will look at the scoreboard and go, this thing's pretty well done. But they still thought to themselves, if we can make a play, we give our teammates a chance to win it. And that's exactly what they did.
Tyre Whitehead, top 10 in tackles last year, up to make the play.
No gain on the play. 2nd and 10. At the Raiders' 39-yard line.
Mike is 59. Mike's at 59. You ain't doing nothing today. Leave it. Bring up 48. Mike, check. 59.
Second down, Cousins. Out to his left. And he'll go down here at the 35-yard line. He'll wind up getting 4 there on his own, but it will leave him now with a third down situation. 3 points separating these two sides with 2 minutes left to go in the fourth. So the Vikings in possession of the football as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Open man is Thielen. It's complete. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or two shy of the 10. 23 yards on the play.
1st and 10 at the 12-yard line.
Some good games going on in the early window. This might be the best of the bunch.
Haywood. Mike's 50. We want it. Come to my world.
A 10th carry in the game for Cook. And he'll fight his way down inside the 10 to the 9-yard line. Now whistles and a timeout. Looks like we've got a Viking slow to get up. While the trainers take a look, we'll step aside.
Listen to me. Hey, dude. Watch the screen. Watch the screen. Mike's 50. Watch the run.
Now Cousins. Rolling to his left. Give him 7 there on the tuck and run, and they're in better shape now for third.
It's a gain of 7. Brings up 3rd and
1. The Vikings on 3rd down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation. Here's Cousins. That's caught at the 3. The completion there winds up a wash, and it'll bring up 4th down. Now the Raiders going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play.
For the field goal, a 20-yard attempt.
Bailey's kick is good. And that will tie this game here in the final minute of play. So a big kick to get this back to even. Now the worry is, did you leave too much time on the clock? Because another field goal the other way, that does you in.
You're exactly right. You didn't get into overtime yet. So now as a defense, you've got to think to yourself, you can't play prevent defense and just give up big chunks of yardage in front of you. But you also can't let anyone behind you. So you sit right on the line between the two, play the best defense you can, and not make it easy for them to move the ball downfield.
To throw his car. Now they go screen. It's complete. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. Right off the bat, it's a first down to start the drive, 12 yards.
At this stage, you've got to hustle. Got to get back to the line of scrimmage because you're saving that timeout to make sure you have a chance to get your kicker out there for the big shot.
Man open left side is Brown. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. A really nice gain of 25 yards. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. And a timeout comes in. The whistles blow with 3 seconds remaining. What pressure as this thing all rests on the foot of Daniel Carlson. And a timeout comes in. The whistles blow with 3 seconds remaining. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Now Carr. He'll let this go for the end zone. And is it a touchdown? No signal. No, they say incomplete. And here in overtime, if the team that receives... So a tie ball game here as the kick's away. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. Here's Cook as they begin on the ground. And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27. Short gain there to start overtime.
Almost a tester play, wasn't it? Wanted to see if the guys on defense were going to fit the gaps the correct way, because we're in overtime. So it's not just physical tiredness out there, right? Mentally, are you still doing what you're supposed to do? And they were up to the task on that play.
And certainly fatigue on both sides of the football. Now, meanwhile, here's a 2nd down throw that's knocked away and incomplete. Brandon Marshall, the linebacker, able to make the play defensively.
8 yards to go.
Third and 8 situation. A tough spot here in overtime on the opening drive.
Hey, Alpha. Mike, check, 59. Hey, can. Mike, 5'9".
From the shotgun, it's Cousins. And the Raiders have got him. Cleveland Farrell able to get him down for a loss of 11. And it brings up 4th down. Here's Matt Weil now. On for a very important punt here in overtime. Fielded just inside the 30. Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And possession will switch hands. 1st and 10. A good starting spot for the Raiders as they come up 1st and 10. On the ground, it's Jacobs to start the drive. And give him about 5 as he gets this up to the 48-yard line. I don't want to overhype it, but this is a big early season game, especially an overtime win. That could give you a big boost going forward in the season.
It certainly can, and I don't think you're overhyping it because cliches go out the window when you start to play overtime. And you're right, the winner of this game now, that's an extra boost moving forward. And it actually is an extra hurt for the team that loses because normally you shake it off. But in this situation, it lingers a little bit longer.
They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete. The Raiders on 3rd down. They've had good success, 5 for 8 to this point. This will be 3rd and 5.
Hey, Delta. Mike 54. 54. 54. 54. 54. 54. 54. 54. 54. 54. 54. 54. 54. 54. 54. 54. 54. 54. 54. 54. 54. 54. 54. 54. 54. 54. 54. 54. 54. 54. 54. 54. 54. 54. 54. 54. 54. 54. 54. 54. 54. 54. 54. 54. 54. 54. 54. 54. 54. 54. 54. 54. 54. 54. 54. 54. 54. 54. 54. 54. 54. 54. 54. 54. 54. 54. 54. 54. 54. 54. 54. 54. 54. 54. 54. 54. 54. 54. 54. 54. 54. 54. 54. 54. 54. 54. 54. 54. 54. 54. 54. 54. 54. 54. 54. 54. 54. 54. 54. 54. 54. 54. 54. 54. 54. 54. 54. 54. 54. 54. 54. 54. 54. 54. 54. 54. 54. 54. 54. 54. 54. 54. 54. 54. 54. 54. 54. 54.
And that is incomplete. Another nice job there defensively. They've really stymied their passing attempts, and it continues in overtime.
And for them to do that, that means they've had to be cohesive on defense. Pressure in the quarterback's face, good coverage of not just the wide receivers, but the tight end, the running backs when they try and slip out, and making sure they're at the point of attack. When the ball's in the air, they get there and help force some of those incompletions.
First down, here's Cousins. Overtime with less than 2 minutes to play, and we are still all tied. And that time almost intercepted. That would have changed things here in overtime, but instead, second down. An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Now Cousins. Toward the right sideline, but it's incomplete. The intended receiver was Laquan Treadwell, and it's 3rd down. By the way, I got to apologize because I just realized for about the last 4 or 5 plays, I'm eking over into your territory up here in the booth. My bad. I'm going to get back over to my spot.
Yeah, and we're not talking about our on-air commentary. I mean, what is all this extra paper? I mean, this is unusual for you.
My bad.
Normally you run a really tight ship. What's going on here?
Just like that incomplete pass, I'm going to try to tighten things up here for this next play. Now yet another incompletion here as they fail to connect on 3rd. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. Officially just 27 yards there on the punt. And the Raiders will have a short field to work with as they take over. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. They will run out of the gun with Jacobs. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. That one will go as a gain of 11. Raiders having a 1st down as well.
And he continues to pile up the yardage. That puts him over $150 now. And this defense has really had its problems trying to keep him contained.
And he got it. The kick is good. In overtime, he's able to split the uprights. We thought this game would be a good one. It did not disappoint into overtime, and it took the field goal to win it.
And we always pay lip service to how important it is to play defense. And usually we focus on the big offensive pyrotechnics, right? But in this case, they got the ball back on defense, gave themselves a chance, and they capitalized on it with a victory.
And I don't care what distance that field goes from in overtime. The knees are always knocking, but he pushed it through.
Not only that, think about your snapper, your holder. A lot of nerves for them, too, because they have to do their job in order to give him one last chance to put a foot to it.